morning children. Welcome back to the session. So today we are going to see a new lesson from your social studies book. Yes. So this video is for grade 5 and your chapter is climate zones of the earth. Climate zones of the earth. So let us get into the session children. Yes. So your topic is about the climates and the zones. Zones in the sense the areas present in the different latitudinal regions. Yes, shall we get into the lesson? Okay, listen children. So we are experiencing different climates in India, right? So we are going to see about the climatic conditions in overall the earth. Okay children. So you all know what are all the climates we experience in India. What are they? Yes, summer, winter, autumn and spring. You know 4 seasons, right? So we are going to add one more season, the monsoon season, rainy season. Yes? Okay. Let us get into the session. So in this topic, in this lesson, we are going to see this much of topics. So the first one is weather and climate, factors affecting climate. So some of the factors are temperature and latitude, prevailing winds, sea breeze and land breeze, moisture and altitude. So these are some of the factors which affect the climate, which change the climate. And the climatic zones. Climatic zones. So there are 3 zones in our earth. They are torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So let us see one by one about all these topics in this chapter. Yes. So we are going to see some new words. We are going to learn some new words from this lesson. They are moisture. Moisture in the sense water vapor present in the air. That is humidity. That is called as moisture. And precipitation. Precipitation in the sense you would have studied in the 5th chapter itself, realms of the earth. So in that we studied about precipitation. It means any form of water. It may be rain or snow or glacier. Everything comes under precipitation. So any form of water is called precipitation. And breeze. Breeze in the sense cool air. Cool air. And altitude. Altitude means height. And zone. Zones means area with similar climates. The different areas which have the same climate, which are present in the same zone, are called as zones. And oblique. Oblique in the sense slanting. Oblique means slanting. So these are some of the new words you are going to learn in this chapter. So the first one is moisture. That is water vapor present in the air. Precipitation, any form of water. Breeze in the sense cool air. And altitude means height. Zone means area with similar climates. Area with similar climates. And oblique. Oblique means slanting. So this much of new words you have studied. Okay, the next one. Let us see the first topic, that is weather and climate. Do you know the difference between weather and climate, children? So what is weather and what is climate? Weather means atmospheric condition for a short period. It means what? So you can experience morning very sunny and by the afternoon or evening it may be a little bit cloudy. The temperature is pleasant. So this short period of changes is called as weather. Short climatic changes are called as weather. So then what is climate? Climate means atmospheric condition for a long period. So you can experience the climate for a long period. It may be up to 3 months or 4 months. The same climate will extend up to 3 to 4 months. That is called as climate. And weather, it is temporary and changes often. Weather is a temporary one. So morning you have different atmospheric condition and by evening you have different atmospheric condition. So that is called as weather. And climate in the sense climate remains stable. The rainy season, summer season likewise. So that season will be stable. It will not change often. And weather prevails over a small area like a city. So in Puliyampatti there will be different atmospheric condition and in Erode it will be different climatic condition. So weather prevails over a small area and climate prevails over a large area like a country. The whole country will experience different climate. So weather, it prevails over a small area and climate prevails over a large area. So this is the difference between weather and climate. India. So in India we experience totally 5 seasons. So what are they? Summer, winter, monsoon, autumn and spring. Summer, winter, monsoon, autumn and spring season. So summer season is the very hot season. High temperature will be there in the summer season. And winter season, it is the cold climate. The climate will be very cold in winter season. And monsoon season, monsoon means rainy season. Monsoon means rainy season. So this September is the monsoon season. September month comes under monsoon season. And autumn season means the leaves will fall down from the trees and plants. So this autumn season comes before the winter season. And next one, spring season, the new leaves and flowers will bloom during the spring season. This spring season comes after winter season. So summer season is a hot season, winter season is the cold season, monsoon means rainy season, autumn means the leaves will fall down from the trees, and spring season all the trees will get new leaves and flowers start blooming. So these are the 5 seasons we experience in our country. Understood, children? Okay. So what is the season? The season, the climatic condition which we experience for a long period. It may be up to 3 to 4 months. So this is what we consider as season. And changes in climate changes the season. And we experience 5 different seasons in our country in India. So summer, winter, monsoon, autumn and spring. So these are the 5 seasons we experience in our country. So we have some of the factors that affect the climate, that change the climatic condition of a city. So temperature and latitude. So you studied about the latitudes and longitudes in your second chapter itself, right? So what is latitude? Latitude is the imaginary line which is drawn horizontally on the globe to find out the particular place or city or town. So for this purpose we use latitude. So what is latitude? It is an imaginary line drawn from east to west. So temperature is one of the prime determinants of climate. So we can find using temperature we can find out the climate of the certain area. And temperature depends on heat received from the sun. So what is temperature? The earth receives sunlight. Yes, the sun rays will fall on the earth. And according to the heat which the sun gives, from that we determine the temperature of the area. And more exposed area, higher is its temperature. So the equatorial zone, which is equator, the center line which is drawn from east to west, that is called as equator. So the equatorial zone will get more and more heat from the sun because the sunlight falls straightly on the equatorial zone. And more exposed area, the more heat which falls on the equatorial zone will get more temperature. And equatorial regions experience extreme climate. So the equatorial zones, the middle, which is in the middle, I'll show you which is equatorial zone and which is temperate zone and which is frigid zone. So the equatorial regions experience extreme climate. What is extreme climate? Whether it is too hot or it is too cold. Heavy rain will occur. That is called as extreme climate. And it receives direct sunlight. So it is very hot. It receives direct sunlight. The sun rays will fall on the equatorial zone directly. So it is very hot. And if moved away, climate becomes moderate. If moved away, the climate becomes moderate. So if we move from the equatorial zone to the temperate zone, the climate will become moderate. It will be not too hot. And it is cold at the poles because the place is located in this belt receives oblique or slanted rays of the sun and spread out over a large area. So what will happen at the poles? At the North Pole and the South Pole, the direct sunlight will not fall on the poles because the earth is little bit slanted. So the sun rays will be oblique. Oblique means slanted. Slanted rays will fall on the poles and only small amount of heat breeze. What is sea breeze and what is land breeze? During daytime, land becomes hotter and the wind above the land becomes warm. So, during daytime, land becomes hotter. During daytime, land becomes hotter and the wind above the land becomes warm. So, above the land, the air will be hot. Sea is cooler than land. So, have you took bath in the sea? Have you played the water in the sea? How will be the water? It will be little bit cool. The water will be cool. Sea is cooler than land. So, when comparing the land and the sea, the air in the sea is cool and the wind above it is also cooler. So, above the sea, the air will present no. So, that air will be also cool when comparing to the land. So, the warm wind in the land rises high in the air because it is lighter in weight. So, what will happen? The warm air is light in weight. It is not too, its weight is very low. So, what will happen? The hot air will go above the top surface of the land and allows cool air to gush from the sea. So, what will happen? So, the cool area, the sea area will have a cool air. That cool air will move into the land because the land warm air will go above the surface of the land and the cool air have a high weight when comparing to the warm air. So, the sea breeze, the cool air from the sea gushes towards the land, comes towards the land and this is known as sea breeze. This is known as sea breeze. So, during daytime only we can feel the sea breeze because during daytime only the sea will be cool and the land will be hot. Understood children? So, what is sea breeze? The cool air from the sea gushes towards the land because the air in the land will be warmer and lighter. So, it will go above the surface of the land and the cool air have high weight when comparing to the land air. So, that air will gush towards the land and we get cool sea breeze from the during the daytime. So, now let us see what is land breeze. So, during night time what will happen? The land become cold. The land become cool. Land cools quicker than sea. So, when comparing to sea, the land becomes more cooler. So, the air above it cools down and becomes dense. So, what will happen? The air in the land will also become cool and the density becomes high. The weight becomes high. And as a result, a high pressure is formed. As a result, high pressure is formed. This causes winds to blow towards the sea. So, what will happen? When comparing to the sea, during night time, land becomes more cooler and the air in the land becomes more dense and the air blows towards the sea. And this is known as land breeze. This is known as land breeze. So, now can you come to know? Can you differentiate what is sea breeze and what is land breeze? Understood? So, sea breeze we can feel during daytime and land breeze we can feel during the night time. And next factor is moisture. Next factor is moisture. It causes humidity and makes a place cooler. Moisture causes humidity. Humidity means what? The water vapor present in the air, that is called as humidity. So, moisture causes humidity and makes a place cooler. So, if the air is a little bit moisture, what will happen? We get the cool air. So, have you felt in the rainy season the air will be so cold? So, that is called as humidity. And closer place to sea, the more cool and humid it is. So, the places near the sea, the coastal areas is there now. So, that areas will have a cold climate. And humidity, the humidity means water vapor will be more in the air. And it causes rainfall. So, the moisture in the air causes rainfall. So, after more humidity in the air, we get rain. And cooler regions, snowfall occurs due to humidity. So, in the cooler regions, you take northern mountains. The mountains will be first itself it will be more cold. And during if the moisture is more in the air, so what will happen? It will be more cooler and the snowfall will occur. So, this is the reason why snowfall occurs in the northern mountains. Understood children? So, what is moisture? The water vapor present in the air which causes humidity and the air becomes very cool. And the cool air will bring rain. rain to a certain place. The coastal areas, the areas near the sea will get more cooler breeze, that is the humidity, and get rainfall soon. And the next one is the cooler regions like mountains. The cooler regions like mountains, the hill stations such as Ooty, Kodaikanal, everything is there. So that regions will get snowfall during the winter season because the humidity in the air increases. So this is the reason why snowfall occurs. Understood, children? So now altitude. What is altitude? Altitude means height. Height. For example, you take mountains. The height of the mountains is high when comparing to the flat lands. So that is called as altitude. Altitude inverses the impact of heat. Altitude means what? Height. Inverses means the opposite. So if the height is more high, the temperature will fall. The temperature will fall. If the height is high, the temperature is fall. You take mountains. In the mountainous regions, there will be no high temperature. The temperature will be mild and pleasant. And height increases, temperature falls. Height increases, temperature falls. And the air, while rising from the sea level, becomes thinner as it climbs higher. So what will happen? The air from the sea goes to the top surface. So if we are in a mountain, so what will happen? The air becomes very cold and thinner, and this causes it to lose its heat carrying capacity. So the air does not carry the heat to a certain height. So the air becomes cool, and so mountainous regions enjoy a cooler climate throughout the year. So the mountainous regions will enjoy the cool climate throughout the year. So during summer season, your vacation time, what you will do after your exams, your May and the summer seasons, what you will do? You will run towards the tourist places, the hill stations like Ooty and Kodaikanal, right? So this is the reason why the people are flying towards the hill stations, because you can escape from the heat in the plain regions. So the hill stations will be so cold and you can enjoy the cool weather there. Yes, children? So now we are moving to the climate zones. What is climate zones? The zones means the areas, many areas which experience the same season, same climate is called as zone. And the areas with similar climatic conditions are grouped together as a climate zones. And the different zones are, so when comparing to the whole earth, so there are 3 zones. So what are the 3 zones? Torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So let us see which is torrid, which is temperate and which is frigid zone. So see here, this blue color area, the poles, North Pole and the South Pole, it has the frigid zone. The blue color area, frigid zone. Frigid means the cool, because the sunlight will fall slantingly towards the poles. So the areas will be more cool. Only a light ray will fall on the surface of the poles, and all the poles, all the areas in the pole should share only the small temperature. So that area will be cold, and it is called as frigid zones. And torrid zone. What is torrid zone? This is the 0-degree equatorial line. So this is the 0-degree equatorial line, and this line is Tropic of Cancer, and this line is Tropic of Capricorn. You studied in latitudes and longitudes itself. Yes. So this Tropic of Cancer runs towards India. Can you remember that, children? Yes. So this Tropic of Cancer runs towards India. So this torrid zone starts from Tropic of Cancer and ends by Tropic of Capricorn. So this region, this half region is the northern hemisphere, and this region is the southern hemisphere. So Tropic of Cancer and equator comes under northern hemisphere, and the equator and Tropic of Capricorn comes under the southern hemisphere. So this torrid region comes both in northern hemisphere and as well as the southern hemisphere. So understood, children, which is torrid zone? The torrid zone starts from Tropic of Cancer and ends by Tropic of Capricorn. And this torrid zone is both in the northern hemisphere as well as the southern hemisphere. So you understood what is torrid zone. Yes. Now let us move to the temperate zone. Temperate zone. So starts by the Antarctic Circle and ends by the Tropic of Cancer. Sorry, Arctic Circle and ends by Tropic of Cancer. The temperate zone starts from Arctic Circle and ends by Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere. And in southern hemisphere, the temperate zone starts by Tropic of Capricorn and ends by the Antarctic Circle. This temperate zone in the southern hemisphere, it starts from Tropic of Cancer and ends by Antarctic Circle. So what is frigid zone? Frigid zone is in the North Pole and ends by the Arctic Circle. And in the southern hemisphere, it starts from the South Pole and ends by the Antarctic Circle. Understood, children? So this is Arctic Circle and this is Antarctic Circle. Understood? Okay. Now are you all clear with what is the different zones in the Earth? So they are torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Now the next one, one by one, let us see what is torrid zone, what is temperate zone and what is frigid zone. First one is torrid zone, otherwise known as equatorial zone. This torrid zone is otherwise known as equatorial zone because this is present near the equatorial line. And it extends from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. As I told, it starts by Tropic of Cancer and ends by Tropic of Capricorn. And North Torrid Zone and South Torrid Zone are the two divisions lying in north and south of the equator. As I told, this torrid zone is present both in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And it is the hottest zone on the earth. It is the hottest zone on the earth because the sun rays falls directly towards the equatorial zone because it receives direct sun rays of the sun throughout the year. And Sahara Desert and Amazon rainforest are located in this belt. So, which belt? So, in this area only the Amazon rainforest and the Sahara Desert is present, which is too hot, and the Amazon rainforest gets heavy rain. So can you understand which is torrid zone, children? So it is otherwise known as equatorial zone, which starts from Tropic of Cancer and ends by Tropic of Capricorn. The North Torrid Zone and South Torrid Zone are the two divisions lying in the north and the south of the equator, and it is the hottest zone because it receives direct sunlight throughout the year. And Amazon rainforest and Sahara Desert present in this belt. Understood? So let us move on to temperate zone. Temperate zone. The temperate zone extends from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle. So as I told, you can see the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle. This area comes under the temperate zone. The next one, the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. So in the southern hemisphere, you can see the temperate zone is from Tropic of Capricorn and ends by the Antarctic Circle. And these are known as the north temperate zone and the southern temperate zone. So these zones are called as the north temperate zone and the southern temperate zone. This belt has a moderate climate. The climate will be pleasant, which is neither too hot nor too cold. So it will be not too much hot or not too much cold. The moderate climate, a pleasant climate will be there in the temperate zone. Understood? So what is temperate zone? It extends from Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. And these are known as the north temperate zone and the south temperate zone. So this is north temperate zone and this is south temperate zone. And this belt has a moderate climate. So the climate will be not too hot nor too cold. So this is what about the temperate zone, and it is because it receives oblique rays from the sun. Why the temperature is not too hot nor too cold? Because it receives the oblique rays. Oblique in the sense slanting So throughout the year it receives only slanted rays from the sun because it is at the pole. The sun rays would not fall on it directly. The sun rays will fall on it slantingly, and these regions are covered with permanent ice because the sun rays is not more on the frigid zones, and it is covered with permanent ice, and experience 6 months of day and 6 months of night in summer and winter respectively. So the frigid zone have 6 months of day and 6 months of night. So not like us. So it gets 6 months days. The frigid zone will have 6 months of days and 6 months of night during summer and winter seasons respectively. Understood children? So what is frigid zone, what is temperate zone, and what is torrid zone? So I hope you would have understood the lesson very well. Now you all try to answer the multiple choice questions which I have given. See, the first one is the wind that blows from sea to land is known as. So the wind blows from sea to land is known as what? Option A, sea breeze, option B, land breeze, and option C, dusk breeze. So what is the answer? So I'll give you 2 minutes, try to find out. See, the air which comes from sea towards land is called dash. So I'll reveal the answer children. Answer is option A, sea breeze. So the air which comes from sea towards land is called as sea breeze. Understood? So try to find out the second question. Moisture causes dash and makes a place cooler. Moisture causes what? Option A, temperature, option B, humidity, option C, wind. So moisture causes what? The answer is option B, humidity. Moisture causes humidity. The moisture increases the water vapor in the air, which causes humidity. Okay? Okay, the third question is, the temperate zone receives dash sun rays. The temperate zone. The temperate zone receives dash sun rays. Direct or no or slanting. How? The equatorial zone gets direct sunlight and temperate zone gets dash sun rays. So the answer is option C, slanting sun rays. The temperate zone gets slanting sun rays. Understood? Okay. Now let us recall the chapter whichever we have seen in this lesson. So we saw the difference between weather and climate. So weather is the atmospheric condition which lasts for a short period, and climate which lasts for a long period. It may be up to 3 to 4 months. And some of the factors that affect the climate, change the climate of a region. So the factors are temperature and latitude, prevailing winds, and sea breeze and land breeze. So what is sea breeze? The cool air which come towards the land, because the cool air have more density when comparing to the hot air. So the cool air from the sea passes towards the land during daytime, and this is called as sea breeze. And what is land breeze? So during night time, the land becomes more cooler when comparing to sea. The cold air in the land which passes towards the sea, which have more density, that is called as land breeze. And next one, moisture. Moisture means water vapor present in the air. The air becomes more humid, that is more cooler, and causes rainfall. And altitude, according to the height, the temperature will be present. So you take mountains. The mountainous regions have cool air and the temperature is moderate and pleasant. So these are some of the